Good afternoon. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. Um, Continue on my part series about the week that was college football history and review, as I chronicle weekly recaps of football games that was played during the 1953 season. This is week 2. I'm gonna get into it right now. I'm gonna talk about the games that were played on September 26, 1953. We're gonna start on a Friday. Obviously, this was September 25th, 1953. On a Friday, Miami Hurricanes beat the Florida State Seminoles 27-0. Hiding his bag of tricks from scouts of next week's foe, Baylor, Miami started slowly, managing its first touchdown late in the second quarter. Florida State took ball away from Hurricanes at FSU 14-25 or 24-yard lines in early going, but its lack of depth made it wilt in South Florida heat. Freshman quarterbacks Lee Corso and Harry Massey could complete only 4 of 19 for 49 yards and 3 interceptions. University's Florida State University's aerial failure hurt it on 4 trips inside Miami 30-yard line. Hurricanes defensive end Tom Pepsin whacked Corso's arm to send pass into the hands of defensive back Waddy Rouvier in second quarter. So after fullback Gordon Malloy rushed for 25, 10, 8, and 2 yards, Pepsin took pass to 4-yard line to set up touchdown run by Rouvier. Pepsin also recovered fumble to lead to the later touchdown and made tackles for loss of 9, 8, and 14 yards while protecting Miami's lead. On that same Friday, September 25th, 1953, UCLA beat Kansas 19-7. Kansas running backs cut through powder blue clad number 4 Bruins as if they were powder puffs in the first quarter at LA Coliseum. Jayhawks owned a 7-0 lead after a 60-yard march, outgained UCLA by 110 yards to 10 yards, and earned 9 first downs to none. Kansas climaxed its own foot fling when halfback Ralph Moody, who had 69 yards on 16 carries, thumbed over from 1 yard out. Thanks to pass interference penalty at KU 22-yard line, UCLAians tied it in second quarter after finally solving Jayhawks' running game, and when ace tailback Paul Cameron, who had 52 yards on 16 carries, tore off tackle for a 4-yard touchdown. So in the third quarter, Bruins fullback Bob Pogo Davenport, who had 65 yards rushing on 13 carries, bounced for 1-yard touchdown leap at the end of the 55-yard trip. Blocking back Terry DeBay blocked punt when Myron Berliner logged 25 yards to Kansas 16-yard line. So Cameron followed with 9-yard touchdown sweep to fix final score. Although Jayhawks fullback Frank Sabatini, who had 85 yards rushing on 13 carries, was game's leading rusher. UCLA ground machine virtually had caught up at finish. Jayhawks 190 yards to Bruins 178 yards. Boston College and Clemson matched up together against each other, ended up in a tie, 14-14, as the Eagles halfback Dick Zigzag Zadi roared 69 yards to touchdown with first quarter punt. Boston College led 14-0 at halftime, but Clemson and Scott Jackson turned momentum with third quarter block punt for score that pulled Tigers within touchdown. Halfback Jimmy Wells sparked Tigers tying fourth quarter 75 yards touchdown drive with 32-yard gain and capped it with a 1-yard plunge. Starting tackle Frank Morsey, enormously large for 1953 standards at 230 pounds, was moved all about Boston College lineup and sparkled at end, tackle, and center. Next, Holy Cross defeated Dartmouth 28-6 in Lynn, Massachusetts. Dartmouth home game in Hanover, New Hampshire was moved to Manning Bowl near Boston to accommodate TV, which in 1953 had difficulty carting its massive equipment far from major cities. Crusaders fullback Jerry O'Leary dashed 30 yards only time he touched the ball, but suffered compound fracture below knee in fourth quarter and was never again the same performer. Tall end Jack Carroll caught 26 and 40-yard touchdown passes in first quarter for Holy Cross 14-0 halftime edge. Halfback Warren O'Donnell caught 20-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Bill Helly in fourth quarter as Crusaders went up to 28-0. Quarterback John Riley fired a 65-yard touchdown to end Dave McLaughlin to finally put Dartmouth on scoreboard in the late going. Each school earned $60,000 share from the TV appearance fund. Next, West Virginia. West Virginia beat Pittsburgh 17-7. Not in 30 years had West Virginia won two in a row over nearby Pittsburgh rivals. Halfback kicker punter Jack Stone was most dramatic contributor to Mountaineers' dominance. Stone took option pitchouts for 28 and 16-yard gains to set up quarterback Freddie Wyant's 1-yard sneak in first quarter for 7-0 lead. Wyant missed fourth down pass from Pitt 37-yard line, and Panthers went all the way to tie it in the second quarter as quarterback Henry Ford, who had 3 interceptions, found halfback Ray DePasquale with his only pass completion 36 yards to the West Virginia University 4-yard line. Halfback Joe Kapp lunged over to tie before halftime after fullback defensive back Tommy Allman's interception. Kicker Stone put Mountaineers ahead 10-7 in third quarter with 25-yard field goal. Panthers appeared to have golden opportunity after defensive tackle Howard Lynn gobbled up fumble at West Virginia University 19-yard line, but Pitt could go no farther than 11-yard line. So in the fourth quarter, Stone dashed 20 yards to Pitt 25-yard line and tacked down a roughing penalty set up West Virginia University at 10-yard line for halfback Joe Marconi's clinching touchdown run. Next, Duke beat Wake Forest 19-0. Heroic Demon Deacons defensive tackle Bob Bartholomew made 16 tackles, helping maintain surprising 0-0 tie until the last 20 seconds of third quarter. So Duke then erupted for touchdown runs by halfbacks Red Smith and Lloyd Caldwell, quarterback Jerry Barger in an 11-minute span over tiring Wake Forest. Florida Gators and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets matchup ended in a 0-0 tie. Yellow Jackets' 18-game winning streak blew away in hurricane conditions at Gainesville. Guard Joe DiAgostino and center Steve Delatorre led Gators defense, which forced 3 lost fumbles by Georgia Tech star halfback Leon Hardman. Florida fullback punter Rick Casares boomed 2 key punts from his end zone, each nearly 60 yards against 25 miles per hour wind. Another tie came to existence between Alabama and LSU, Louisiana State, in a 7-7 tie in Mobile, Alabama. When both teams quickly went to touchdowns on their opening possessions, it looked like Mobile's near-capacity crowd was in for a high-scoring bout. But as Alabama charged 80 yards after the opening kickoff and LSU answered with tying touchdown on 55-yard trip, each defense heartily settled in for stoppages. Crimson Tide quarterback Bart Starr, who threw 2 interceptions, 37 yards passing on 3 of 10 passing, completed 18 and 4-yard passes to halfback Corky Thorpe to set up fullback Tommy Lewis's first serious touchdown plunge. Hulking tackle Sid Fournette made 15-yard return of short kickoff to start Bengals on their touchdown trip. LSU halfback Charlie Oakley's 31-yard reception from quarterback Al Doggett, who threw 2 interceptions on 6 of 16 passing for 64 yards, set up halfback George Brancato, who ran for 88 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown for 1-yard touchdown smash. Alabama never threatened after the opening touchdown and had to spend game in defending its goal, stopping Tigers at Tide's 6-yard line on freshman fullback Dukesman's fumble at their 2-yard line on halfback Chuck John's stumble, and fullback kicker Tommy Davis missed 32-yard field goal. Alabama center linebacker Ralph Kerrigan was Hellcat on defense. Mississippi beat Kentucky 22-6. Mr. Everything for Kentucky, Steve Mellinger, played end, halfback, fullback, and quarterback, was pressured by the forward-pressing Mississippi line all game. After Ole Miss threat died at 2-yard line thanks to nullified second quarter touchdown, Wildcats took lead as quarterback Dick Shadow connected on several passes, including a short touchdown to end Al Zampino for 6-0 margin. Rebels fullback Mangum Pete Mangum appeared to take quarterback Eagle Dave's pass to long touchdown in second quarter, but was ruled out of bounds at Kentucky 19-yard line. Still, sophomore fullback Bobby Slick McCool ran 3 times to produce a touchdown for 7-6 halftime edge. Sophomore star Day capped 60-yard drive in third quarter with 10-yard touchdown dash. Bellinger found himself in trouble as he ran around his own end zone in fourth quarter. His impromptu incompletion was ruled intentional grounding for safety. A 16-6 Ole Miss lead. Rebels quarterback Houston Patton climaxed 59-yard touchdown drive late in the game with 10-yard touchdown run. Michigan State beat Iowa 21-7 as Michigan State made smooth transition to Big Ten membership as defending national champion. Spartans won 25th straight game. As the Spartans started quickly, taking a 14-0 lead in the fourth quarter on short touchdown runs by halfbacks Billy Wells and halfback Jim Ellis. Each score came after turnover suffered by Iowa quarterback Lou Matikizowicz. He lost fumble to Michigan State guard Larry Fowler at Hawks' 34-yard line and threw interception swiped by Spartans fullback defensive back Gary Panutis at Michigan State University 28-yard line. Hawkeyes fullback defensive back George Binky Broder recovered fumble at Michigan State University 39-yard line in third quarter, and Broder soon hurdled over goal line for 1-yard touchdown. Iowa had apparent interception in Michigan State territory in fourth quarter as quarterback defensive back Terry Moran leaped, but deflection flew back to Spartans fullback Evan Slonak for 4-yard loss. Michigan State University quarterback Tom Usick soon pitched over middle for 46 yards touchdown pass to Wells. Illinois and Nebraska in the tie, 21-21. Fighting Illini went 73 after opening kickoff to 7-yard touchdown pass from quarterback M. Lindback to end Cliff Warbesser. After his 2 fumbles helped Nebraska score twice for a 21-7 early fourth quarter lead. Illinois mercurial newcomer halfback G.C. Caroline traded his goat horns for hero mantle in his varsity debut. Caroline offered spoiling 73-yard touchdown run to pull Illini within 21-14 and contributed a pair of important runs to set up fellow sophomore halfback Mickey Bates' 5-yard run for tying touchdown run with just more than 5 minutes to go. Tying Illini drive came after guard Jan Smid recovered fumble at Cornhuskers' 39-yard line. So in the second quarter, Cornhuskers quarterback John Dogner had sneaked over for a score and thrown touchdown pass to halfback Bob Smith for 14-7 lead. So in nearly blocking Nebraska's second conversion kick, center of Tribe line inadvertently tipped kicker Dogner's low kick over crossbar. First of 2 such bizarre but effective Nebraska kicks. Cornhuskers halfback Dennis Koronek gained 123 yards rushing, but came up just short on the 4th down run toward Illini 7-yard line. At game's end, Illini held slight 362 yards, 290 yards rushing, to 341 yards of advantage in total offense. Next, Wisconsin shut out Penn State 20-0, targeting Badgers fullback Alan Michi's powerful runs. Penn State defense manfully held friendly for game's opening 22 minutes against injury-riddled Wisconsin. Once Badgers found themselves starting in good field position at own 46-yard line in second quarter, Amici, who had 115 yards rushing on 28 carries and a touchdown in his rushing cohorts, wore down Nittany Lions. Badgers halfback Jerry Witt set up Amici's second quarter touchdown run with 24-yard sprint with pitch out. Rolling in third quarter, Wisconsin traveled 86 yards, aided by a pair of passes for 35 yards by quarterback Gus Vergitis, who had 82 yards passing on 1 interception and 8 for 12 passing, to halfback Clary Rat's 9-yard touchdown sweep. Badgers went 85 yards in fourth quarter to sub halfback Bob Gingras' 4-yard run. Penn State quarterback Tony Rados was unusually ineffective in the air, with 7 for 16, 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it didn't help Rattle's cause that Lions were limited to 50 yards rushing as halfback Lenny Moore's 64-yard touchdown sprint was called back. Linebacker Amici and guard linebacker John Dixon helped throttle Mount Nittany runners. Deepest penetrates to Wisconsin 15-yard line early in the fourth quarter was earned on 2 fine catches by Lions and Jim Garrity. Next, Notre Dame Fighting Irish beat Oklahoma Sooners 28-21. The season's first big game in Sultry Norman pitted number 1 Fighting Irish against vengeful number 6 Oklahoma, which had been bounced from unbeaten ranks in 1952 by Notre Dame. Irish started in hole at own 2-yard line after halfback Johnny Latner bobbled opening kickoff, and Sooners soon jumped to 7-0 lead after tackle Dick Bowman recovered fumble at Notre Dame 23-yard line by fullback Neil Warden, 78 yards rushing on 12 carries and a touchdown. OU halfback Larry Grigg cut inside in Carl Allison's block and dashed over on 8th play of short drive. After Notre Dame recovered first quarter fumble at Oklahoma 15-yard line, quarterback Ralph Giuliani was 5 for 8 for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, lost a short touchdown pass to halfback Joe Heat. Teams traded second quarter touchdowns. Sooners little halfback Jack Ging tally after quarterback Buddy Leak faked handoff to Pitt permit Allison to break open for 62-yard reception to Irish 18-yard line. Notre Dame countered with what Oklahoma coach Bud Wilkinson thought was Ging's biggest play. Tackle Frank Vacarione blocked fullback punter Max Boyston's quick kick, and end Don Penzer made recovery at 9-yard line. Galumi soon scored on an option run to send teams to halftime at a deadlock score of 14-14. Heap's 36-yard catch in end zone broke the third quarter tie of the defensive back Galumi intercepted newly appointed quarterback Leak, who had threw for 79 yards passing on 2 of 7 passing and an interception, and Warden followed with 9-yard touchdown run for a 28-14 margin. Oklahoma halfback Merrill Green used great blocking to steam 60 yards to punt return touchdown in the fourth quarter. But with 5 minutes remaining, the Irish prevailed because big play came from halfback defensive back Johnny Latner, who had been limited to 13 carries and 22 yards rushing. From the Sooners' 40-yard line, Leak tossed screen pass to Allison, who zipped 17 yards behind 2 blockers, but last tackler Latner slipped between them to drop Allison at Notre Dame 43-yard line to effectively end threat. This was Oklahoma's first home loss in 25 games, and will be their last defeat of any sort until Notre Dame would snap the Sooners' 47-game winning streak on the same field on November 16, 1957. Oklahoma A&M beat Arkansas 7-6. Halfback Bill Brady, who had 117 yards rushing and 14 carries, made simple crossbuck run with less than 6 minutes gone in the first quarter and was long gone for a 77-yard touchdown for Cowboys as they went ahead in the regional rivalry by 11-10-1 over Arkansas. 11-10-1 over Arkansas. Sophomore quarterback kicker Bobby Andrew made vital extra point kick after Brady's long score, which benefited from blocks by tackle Dale Minard, guard John Payne, and fullback Earl Lunsford. Razorbacks coach Bowden Wyatt saw his debut spoiled by loss of 4 fumbles by his newly installed single wing offense. Arkansas tailback Lamar McCann passed 8 for 11 for 114 yards and found favorite target in Floyd Sagely, who caught 6 passes for 91 yards twice on a 50-yard drive that bridged third and fourth quarters to McCann's 1-yard plunge. Kicker McCann missed his extra point to left, but brought back the Hogs on a 35-yard pass to Sagely 2 minutes later, only to lose fumble to end defensive end Bob LaRue at Oklahoma A&M 28-yard line. Southern California beat Minnesota 17-7, as he was wont to do. Adorable Golden Gopher star tailback Paul Gill, who ran for 97 yards on 16 carries and passed for 6 for 12 42 yards passing, accounted for 60% of his team's yards. Otherwise, it was awful for 1953 debut for Gill, who got little blocking help. 1952 All-American fumbled lateral at his own 14-yard line, which led to the first touchdown by Southern California, and suffered blocked quick kick, which was recovered in end zone for another Troy touchdown. On game's opening series, USC center Dick Petty had fired high punt, snapped 34 yards back to his 21-yard line. But after Minnesota marched the 3-yard line, Gill tossed incomplete end zone pass on 4th down. Next came USC defensive tackle Ed Fouch's recovery of Gill's fumble that turned into one-play drive. Tailback Aramis Dandoy's 14-yard touchdown pass to blocking back George Bozanic. In second quarter, Trojans guard Erwin Spector blocked Gill's quick kick, and fullback linebacker Harold Hand fell on it in end zone. Guard kicker Sam Tassagalakis added 30-yard field goal as Trojans trotted off leading 17-0 at halftime. Minnesota, meanwhile, twice frustrated at USC 3-yard line in first half, finally scored in third quarter, keyed by Gill's ramble of 67 yards to 12-yard line. Gophers fullback John Baumgartner and quarterback Gino Cappelletti worked it to 1-yard line, spot from which Cappelletti wedged it over for the touchdown. Now the AP poll as of September 28th at that time, 1953, had Notre Dame at number 1, Michigan State at number 2, Maryland number 3, Michigan number 4, UCLA number 5, Ohio State number 6, Southern California number 7, Oklahoma number 8, Georgia Tech number 9, number 10, Baylor, number 11, Mississippi State, Duke number 12, West Virginia 13, Rice number 14, Mississippi number 15, Wisconsin number 16, Texas number 17, Georgia number 18, Louisiana State number 19, and number 20, Holy Cross. So that concludes the look at the week that was for September 26, 1953. Hopefully you enjoyed Trip Down Memory Lane, the week that was college football history in review. The 1953 college football season, week 2 of the 1953 season, September 26, 1953. You can subscribe to the channel, like, comment, support. This is part 3 of the week that was college football history in review, the 1953 college football season, recapping the week that was in week 2 of the 1953 college football season. Until then, talk to you tomorrow. Obviously, I'll be doing videos like these, every single day as I continue to build on my content. I got 4 subscribers so far. I gained a subscriber today. I don't know who the person is, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for accepting me, for subscribing to my channel. Deeply appreciate it. Hopefully more subscribers will come. This is my 2nd month of doing these videos. I started doing it, the videos last month in April, and I've been continuing on in this month. I'm continuing to do as many videos as I can to give you great content. That's what it's about, just the content. It's not about nothing else. Everything else is just, secondary. It's not about making money. It's all about giving you good content and giving you great information so you can learn from. And that's the primary thing while I'm doing this channel, is to give you good content from my creative mind. And that's what it's about. I'm trying to stand out from the pack. And that's what you gotta do when you do a channel for YouTube. You want to be different from everybody else. You don't want to be a carbon copy of somebody else. You want to be unique. You want to be original in what you do from a standpoint of your content. Your streams of content have to be different from everybody else, so that's how you're going to get your subscribers. You cannot be imitating somebody else's situation. So that's what I want to do with this channel. And like I said, support the channel, subscribe, like, comment, do whatever you can to support yours truly, Rashad Mitchell, from the YouTube channel of mine. Until then, talk to you tomorrow.